We're so glad to have you here today. We have a really exciting and fun program, so I can't wait to get to it. But I'd like to remind each of you to silence your cell phone for the speaker, and then on our guest online, if you would mute your computers, please, that will help us. And we will get to our prayer and invocation is also going to be our program presenter. So Chris Chedzoy, would you lead us in the invocation and the pledge?
Well, bow your heads, please. God, thank you for bringing us together in the fellowship of Rotary to enjoy a meeting both in person and online. Go with us all, watch over us and our loved ones, keep us safe, and protect those who are downrange. Amen. Amen. Got a little flag here on the Zoom meeting, if you can see it. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Okay, guys. Chris Chedzoy is a Rotarian. He has been active in many different areas. He's been specifically active with our exchange student efforts. Just a neat guy. He's done a lot for our club, and he's also started his own business a few years ago that he's going to tell us about, which is Basement Brewers. So with that, I'd like to introduce Chris Chedzoy, our program for today.
Thank you all. If somebody can't hear me, just send a text through, I guess. We'll do our best to make this technology work. Welcome to Basement Brewers of Texas. I got two of the other founders here with me. The man with the hat, Doug Landrum. He's our head brewer. The other gentleman here, Randy Rose, many of you may know. They're going to do this program with us. We're not exactly sure how this is going to work, but we're just going to talk until you tell us to quit talking and try and take you on a little virtual tour. We are officially back open according to the governor's office about 2 weeks ago. And I can't tell you how good that is because it's been a tough year for our industry. Just to give you all a couple statistics, lead it off. There was about 9,000 craft breweries at the start of 2019, including about 1,000 that had opened in the first year. And going into 2020, it was looking like we were on track for even more growth. According to our industry group here in Texas, craft brewery revenues are down about 71% over 2020. So that's a rough way to start your first year in an industry that's capital intensive. So it's good to finally be back to whatever the new normal is and welcome people in. We, of course, are like all other service industries, taking precautions. And one of the great things about our location is we have a huge outdoor space. So there's plenty of room to spread out, be outside, keep to your family unit, whatever makes you all comfortable. We're willing to do what we need to do to welcome people in and get people out and about again. So I'm just going to jabber on for a little bit and pull the guys in here to answer some questions and stuff. But I thought we'd tell you a little bit about our history. This is a business of love. We started back in 2017. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary at Thanksgiving. And it came about because of these two guys and two other gentlemen who couldn't be here today, Aaron Landrum and John Chandler. These 4 guys are what we call beer nerds and big lovers of beer. And they came to me probably 4 years ago and said, "What's the rent on your warehouse building, the old warehouse?" And I said, "I don't know. What do you want to do?" And they said, "A brewery." I said, "Well, then the rent's cheap, but we got to do this legal. And the only way to do a brewery is we're basically licensed the same as a big place that's owned by a Budweiser distributor or something like that. So there's no middle ground. They try and make it workable for the small guys, but you still got to jump through a lot of hoops and have the state and the Alcohol Tobacco Bureau from the feds in your business. And we were able to navigate that and get open pretty fast and took kind of a cool building that was been sitting without anything going on in it, and put it to productive use, pay a lot of sales tax, employ some people, and create a spot that we think is pretty awesome for the community. So I hope I'm not talking too softly or too fast. I'm sure somebody will wave at me like Dave Rittenhouse. I see him watching, but if I'm not doing right, just make some frantic hand gestures. But anyway, we'll walk you around a little bit, and then we'll come back over to this space. And I'm not sure how this is going to look on camera, but we'll do our best and try and walk and talk. But you're going to kind of get a quick, weird overview. So start here. We are actually standing behind the bar right now. We use a chalkboard, and the reason that we do a chalkboard is because what's unique about our business is we brew different beers all the time. We make them in small batches. And so we have 14 taps, and our house beer is everything that we brew in house. And last year we did 64 different kinds of beer. So more than a beer a week. And people come in frequently because you just really never know what's going to be available and how long it's going to stay around for. Some of our more popular stuff now, when people know it's being released, it'll sell out in the same day. So it's a great problem to have, but it just makes it fun for us. There's some other breweries that basically will just brew the same several beers repeatedly, and that's a different model. But we got into this to have some fun, and I think we're accomplishing that. Doug, what are some of the crazier things that we've made? Girl Scout cookie beers.
Girl Scout cookie beer. We've done some cereal beers, Christmas cake beer. We've done some coconut and marshmallow beers. Last week we had a hot tamale. We did with the hot tamale candies. We've done Starburst, Sour Patch Kids. Pretty much everything you can think of, we'll put it in the beer. So.
And we get people that come in with ideas. Like somebody showed up last week and texted me and said, "Hey, why don't you try this, that, and the other thing?" We're like, "Oh, maybe we'll get around to doing that." But Randy here is one of our brewers, and tell them what your signature beer is, Randy.
I hadn't made it in a while, but there's two that are my favorite. One is a black IPA that's called the Dirty 830, and then we have a jalapeno Hefeweizen, and that's called Dos Rosas. And those are the two that I'm partial to, that I love the most.
And definitely some jalapeno kick in the Dos Rosas, depending on how we make it from time to time.
Right.
So, so anyway, we do have all these beer taps, these beautiful taps that cost us a small fortune to get up and running. But there's plenty of variety. We get people that walk in and say, "I drink Budweiser. What do you recommend?" And we can usually fix them up. We also do full range of wines. We do soft drinks. We're a very family friendly place. I mean, I would say there's usually at least 1 to 2 kids for every adult that's here. And that's part of what we're about, is this is a place that you can age 21 to 101 and come. So this is our brew room. I'm gonna let Doug talk out of camera a little bit, but it's not a big operation, but we're very efficient in how we use it. So you want to just explain what we're looking at right now, Doug?
These are our fermenting tanks. They're all temperature controlled, hot, cold ferment. We usually let them sit here a week, and then we transfer down into the basement where it sit for another week, and then we start taking it. You can see right here, one bubbling. We just brewed that one yesterday. It's a honey blonde we made yesterday.
So the yeast is
Just cooking right
working
there.
right off, so making the good stuff. So, and then everything we do on the system here, which was probably our biggest capital outlay, but we have a pretty cool system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a 1-barrel system. This is our hot water tank, and then we'll heat our water there, and then go over here to our mash, get all our sugars and everything, and then we'll go over here to a boil, and then from there we run through a chiller into our tanks here. So,
but we were also able, as some people probably saw in the paper, to boil water during the snowpocalypse and get that out through the Kerrville Fire Department. police department. So that's our brewer room. It's actually a little more impressive in person than it is on Zoom. We're outside now and give the tour of the outdoor space. You some chairs.
Hey, Chris, it looks like you guys froze up.
In the
Chris?
We lost him.
I suspect that he's going to rejoin us when he can get his internet connection well. So this is the first time that this has happened. So here he is. Yay, Chris.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. Yeah, we technical difficulties, but we'll stay inside, but kind of show you that we have this big barn door that opens to the outside. We have a lot of little stickers from other breweries and people that we like posted up there. But you know, come see it in person. It's way easier than looking at it on the Zoom, but just gives you kind of the quick overview. Tables inside, we haven't been able to use those tables since before St. Patrick's Day of 2020. I was talking a little bit about the building being a 1947 construction and being an old produce company. But what's people might ask, well, why Basement Brewers? But the cool thing is we actually have a basement. I'm not going to take you down there because we'll lose Wi-Fi for sure. But there's the opening to the basement, where we do a lot of our storage, a lot of our kind of prep work. And then we have this old conveyor belt here that actually has a serial plate on it from 1947. So that kind of gives us a pretty good idea of when this was all built. So yeah, we'll go back over to the bar and quit giving you a headache from walking around. So, and then we'll try and wrap up here and take questions. There we go. Come on in, Doug. Don't be shy. So, I'll let Randy and Doug talk a little bit about it because I'm just been going on and stuff, but just tell them a little bit about why we did this, Randy.
I think probably the most important thing I would say that I appreciate about Basement Brewers is the sense of community here. Christopher mentioned earlier, you know, that Doug spent a day during snowpocalypse, braved the roads to come up here to boil water in order to provide that, you know, to those in need. We've held benefits here for children, one child in the community here who had cancer, and I think we raised over $13,000 to help, you know, offset the cost of treatment. And those are just two examples of many things that we've done to support the community. And really, when you get down to it, that is what Basement Brewers is about. We didn't start this to, of course, we love profit and we love, you know, making money like anybody else, but we really didn't start Basement Brewers with the idea of being profitable. We started to serve our community, to create a gathering place for people to come with their families and to support our community in any way we could. And I think, you know, enjoying a beer with your friends at a social gathering spot, it just really doesn't get much better than that. So I'm really proud of that aspect of what we've created here. And I think that's probably the most important contribution we're making to Kerrville, Texas.
And if anybody's got ties to Budweiser and Budweiser wants to give us $10 million, we wouldn't say no, but that's
Very true.
That's not what we started this for. So that's the big joke in the industry.
Absolutely.
Doug, I'm going to ask you a question, interview you. How long does it take from start to finish to kind of brew a beer?
The IPAs, we've got them down to where we can get them out in about 2 weeks. Stouts, we like to set a little longer, you know, 3 weeks to a month. Blondes, 2 to 3 weeks. Our lager takes about 6 weeks. It takes the longest, so.
And that's because it's air.
Right.
Yeah.
It ferments really slow, so it takes a while, so.
But, yeah, I mean, come on down. We've got some great bartenders here. The guy that we'd normally be asking to do this is Staff Sergeant Miller, Aaron Miller. And he's been called up to the National Guard for an indefinite period right now. So you're getting the B team, but we'll do our best to answer some questions for you. So I'll send it back to whoever's moderating. And if there's a way to ask questions, or Tammy, you want to take questions from the audience and relay them, whatever works.
Yes, we'll do both. We have our guest online can ask directly and I'll relay any that come from here. So anybody with questions? About, when are you open? What are your hours of operation?
We're open Wednesday and Thursday, 5 to 9, and then Saturday and Friday is 11 to 11. Sunday is 12 to 7. And next weekend, April 3rd, we're doing a crawfish boil here. It'll go from 11 to probably around 9 or so.
Oh, fun. Chris, when you were turning in your raffle tickets, you were telling me about how you guys survived during the shutdown. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the to-go orders and what y'all did during the shutdown?
Yeah, we're trying to put those memories out of our mind, but we have to be appreciative of them. No, we actually can our beer. You can bring a growler in, or we sell growlers here, so you can come in. I mean, what the typical deal is, you walk in, we're all about sampling stuff until you find something you like. So, you know, if you're not familiar with craft beer, don't be worried you're going to get stuck with some super hoppy IPA and you only like light beers or something. You know, you get a little sample, you try it. And once you find something you like, you can order a pint here at the tap room or two. We'll cut you off pretty quick after that, but or send you home with your designated driver. But the cool thing is you can also pick up a growler, which is like a half gallon or a gallon, and fill it right out of the tap. So you can literally take home what you're drinking and enjoy some more in the comfort of your living room. But the other neat thing is we actually can beer in aluminum cans. I'll just turn this around real quick and maybe you can see it, but we've got a pallet of cans sitting over there in the corner. I don't know if that's coming through very good, but there's about 600 aluminum cans sitting over there. And we fill those same cans out of the,
So one of our cans here.
yeah, so we fill them out of the same tap and then we seal them and they'll stay good for what?
Just like a regular can, they'll stay good for.
They'll stay good for a very long time. And growler beer, you want to drink it within a day or two, but canned beer, good for a while. And then we've had a lot of fun with our labels. You know, this is one that I know some of y'all had. This is called Rocket Man. A little picture of Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump on there. So you can have a really good time with naming beers. You got to get creative if you're going to do 60 something a year, but we try and have fun with it and at the same time come up with some cool graphics so people can kind of keep the containers when they're done, and we're recycling them, of course. So
Hey, Chris,
Yeah,
for the
Yes, Mark.
online, we've had a question to share your address and where you're located.
Yes, we're at 521 Clay Street, which is next to 601 Clay Street, which the reason we're only open at 5 on Thursdays and Wednesdays is that's next to my wife's medical practice and she's our landlady. So she doesn't let us open during clinic hours. So once the patients leave at 5, they all just come over here and continue their therapy. But so basically we're a block off Sidney Baker, right behind the McDonald's and the Jack in the Box. And, you know, we're tucked away a little bit, but if you look for that address, you'll find us. And there's usually a big sign flying out front when we're open. So.
yes.
So, food. Y'all don't actually cook and serve food. Y'all have special events because you want to come out there and eat. Those are awesome.
So you don't serve food. What are some options besides your special events where people can eat?
We have some menus you can order off of that deliver here, or you can bring in your own food, either one.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And the food trucks were just kind of getting going. The city of Kerrville had been working to modernize the regulations on that. And so we were getting some regular food trucks. COVID wiped most of that out, but we're hoping that'll bounce back. And, you know, we've got a big outdoor space, so it's kind of cool. We could pull in and set up a food truck. They were great for the benefits, especially, and basically just walk next door, get whatever you want. There again, if you want to bring a pizza in or order off a menu, seems like all the restaurants in town know us, including our colleagues down the street, Pine Plow, will even deliver you one of their pizzas. You sit here and drink beer. So
Awesome.
Hey, question about your beers. Can
Yes,
you hear
sir.
me?
Yep.
So does the craft beer industry have, do you share recipes and share ideas, or do you have to come up with all of these on your own and figure out, all the proportions and recipes on this, or where does that all come from?
That's outside my realm of expertise.
We usually come up with most of them on our own. We do some collaborations with other breweries too. Like there was earlier in the year, the San Antonio Brewery sent out a collaboration. Everybody did it, and it was a fundraiser, and you donated money. We donated ours to the Doyle Center, help with the renovation over there and stuff. So, so we'll do some stuff like that. But most of the recipes we all come up with on our own.
Okay, that's awesome.
It's a very collaborative industry though. I mean, of course, everybody is competing, but at the same time, it's a really great group of people that get along. And, as an example, when a brewery opens here in Kerrville, if another one is to open, that's not a bad thing, because typically what you see are people that enjoy good craft beer want to go and experience multiple breweries at one time. And so when you have a group of breweries open together in an area, it can create a kind of a synergy. And it also will do things like open up doors for tours to be willing to drive their vehicles here and let people experience all the different spots. So it's a very collaborative, very, very fun industry where everybody gets along very well.
Yeah. Patrick Wilt from Grape Juice was one of our first early customers, and he was a great guy about supporting us, telling us anything he could do, including he helped us unload our first ton of grain and carry it down to the basement. So I think we still charged him for his beer, but we appreciated the support on that one.
Okay, we had a question from the in-person event. Do you make non-alcoholic beer, and what is your alcohol content versus, say, Budweiser or Miller Lite or something?
We do not have a non-alcoholic beer. We carry a lot of sodas and stuff like that. But our beer will range from, we've done a beer from 3.2 up to 14-15%. So they vary quite a bit. So.
Great. And also I have a question, not really a question, I'd like you to share. Did you not tell me that you are now offering seltzers or something?
Yes, we have our own seltzer that we try to keep on tap that we make here. Right now it's an apple flavored seltzer. So, and then we have the seltzer, and we do some guest seltzers too, and some ciders and stuff. So.
Awesome, thank you. Do we have any more questions in this room? Chris, I don't think we have any more questions here on our online guests. Do we have any more questions for Chris and his crew?
I'd like to ask one.
Yes.
Yes, are you making any like the Dusseldorf alts?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that one.
Are you making any beers like the Dusseldorf alt beer?
No, I have not made anything like that yet.
Okay. How about the Cologne Kolsch's?
Yes, we do a bunch of Kolsch's. So we do, I think, 3 different Kolsch's. So.
Okay.
If you'll come in, we'll make you something, Dave.
So an alt is very similar to a Kolsch, except that you've toasted the barley one.
Barley, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions? No?
If not, we just want to say thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to present what we do here. And, a lot of people, it's funny, we've been here for a while, but we're a pretty small operation. And, you're not going to see us splashed on the side of a billboard anywhere. So that's part of our charm. But word of mouth, I'd say we punch above our weight. And, it's one of those things where people come here and then they tend to come back and back and back. And that's a testament to we're doing something right. So, but please, I've seen plenty of Rotarians in here and love to see some more. So don't hesitate to show up and grab a seat and make yourself comfortable. But thank you all for having us on here today. And we hope we did enough of a talk and kind of gave you a little bit of a tour, but we're a little shorthanded. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you.
It was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very nice.
We're gonna jump out. Thanks.
If you
Joe.
didn't hear that, you got applause from this room. So,
Thanks.
okay, I'd like to then go to Stephanie Miller. Do you have a Families and Rotary report for us?
I do. Jack Pratt is continuing to recover from his quadruple bypass he had last week. And congrats to Austin Dixon, who has been reappointed by Governor Abbott to the UGRA. So congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
My other observation is last night I was able to go to the Kerrville City Council meeting, and what a pleasure it is to see so many Rotarians serving their community. Just wanted to make that observation.
Why were you at the city council meeting?
Receiving the proclamation for the Red Cross month for March as a Red Cross board member.
I saw your picture and I wanted you to say that out loud. Thank you. Okay, we are going to remind you to pay your invoices. We've sent out a new batch of invoices, so look for them. Make sure you receive them. If you haven't, let us know. We'll get you another one. I also would like to talk a little bit about the Shriner University will be hosting their virtual spring luncheon. So this is normally we would go there on their kickoff week or whatever, but they're having a spring luncheon and it's it's very well planned. I attended the one last year, just very nice, very informative. It's going to be on Tuesday, March 30th. So next Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. I will send you the link so that you can log on. It's free to attend, but you'll get to hear a lot about from the students who are recipients of the Hill Country College Fund. Marta, do you want to add anything to that?
I appreciate that very much, Tammy. And yeah, with COVID-19 and the pandemic, everybody had to pivot pretty quickly. We have, I think, some really compelling student stories this year relative to resilience and how they stepped up to help keep this a safe campus during the pandemic. So absolutely love to have you guys join us if you can. There will be a link and you can just click in and join and sit back and listen to the kind of impact that you're having for the students that are here. We appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you. And we have to remind you, or we want to remind you that we are going to have our first responders luncheon on April 7th. That's a big thing and we're really proud of it. We're also having the First Responders Golf Tournament on April 12th. That's what we're calling First Responder Week. But before we do all that, we have our main event to do. We have raffle tickets to sell and collect, and we have an online auction to sell out. So with that, I'd like to bring up Jeff Harris, President-elect Jeff Harris, to talk about progress.
Thank you, President Tammy. Thank everybody so far for helping out, coming to the wants and needs of the club so we can have a successful year next year. We are about halfway through 600 tickets. So 300 so far. We've got more coming in. So I'm going to throw this out there right now. And this is from me until next Wednesday. If somebody sells the winning ticket for $10,000 between today and next Wednesday, so if you sell more tickets, put your name on the back of it, I'm going to give you $100 for selling it. So a little motivation, a little incentive to go out there and sell. So that's just from me going back to the club members and, or anybody. If you're not a club member, if you're not a Rotarian, but you're like, hey, I've got a friend that wants to buy one, tell them to put their name on it too. That's open to anybody that's out there. That's hopefully $100. So it's not a lot anymore. I remember when it was a whole lot of money, but you know, you can go to Basement Brewers and get you a growler and a cab ride home. So I want to say thanks to the committee. This is I don't know if y'all checked out our website, our 32 auctions, the Rotary main event, but we have 100 items on there right now. We wanted 60. So between the committee that's helping us do this, Robin, Ashley, Amber, and Marta, and I know I left one out, but I did that on purpose because everybody's pointing at him. 100 items, and about 70% of those items were gotten by Mr. Jimmy Hutto. So Jimmy, thank you for taking the reins and doing everything. Yes, Christy.
I just want to say, if y'all have not been up on the website yet, I went up there yesterday and bought 2 things, because you can put in like just a little bit more than it's worth and guarantee that it's yours. So I got a massage and a facial that I'm really excited about, but there are so many items up there. Please go up and check it out. Robin and your group, it's so easy. And if you have someone who needs a raffle ticket, they can actually get one of those up there on the site too. It makes it really easy for them to get a raffle ticket. So excellent job. I never have seen a silent auction raise as much as this is already raised. And I think it can go through the roof. So great job, y'all. Great job.
Thank you, Christy. Christy was talking about the online auction and how everything's working on that. Before I came to the meeting this morning, I checked it. And when I checked it this morning at 10:30, we were at 60.5% of our goal of 12,500. But we had $7,565 that we raised. I just got notified right before I stepped up here, we're at $8,000. So it's continuing to go through. We sold 2 raffle tickets offline while I've been sitting here. So it's working. It's getting out there. 3 raffle tickets. Just got another email right there. So like it, share it, go to our website, share it to your Facebook. I did it again this morning and posted to anything and everything that I can think of, any group that I follow, and just to put it out there and get the word out. So I'm excited about it because here's the deal. Think about this. 1 week from today, somebody's going to have 10,000 reasons to be really happy. They're going to have a little bit more walking around money in their pocket. And, you know, it could be one of us, or it could be one of y'all that helps them do that. And between now and next Wednesday, it could be one of y'all that also, hey, you never know, you could have $10,100 in your pocket. So thank y'all for everything. Tammy mentioned a while ago about the First Responders Week. I'm not going to hit on it hard because I want to make sure that we focus on the main event, but we're at 22 teams. So for the golf tournament, we've had several step up and do a lot for the sponsorship. And we've had one individual that absolutely does not want to be named, but he asked what the title sponsor was. And I told him it's $3,000. He said, well, I want to do that, but I want to multiply it by 5. So think about that for the golf tournament. So thank y'all. And before I sit back down and give it back to Tammy, we do have a guest with us today, but I'm not going to call him a guest any longer. We have an application for his membership, and it's very hard for me to call him Rob because he's a retired 2-star general, and I'm just an old jarhead, and it's a little hard for me sometimes, but Rob Walters with us again from the Shriner Institute.
Okay. Okay, I want to reiterate what we've been saying about the main event. You, unless you've done it, you don't know how scary it is to understand that an entire club is waiting on you to raise $50,000 to fund the projects that you have. All of us that came before Robin and Jeff had the benefit of in-person events, alcohol, all the things that get people to want to spend their money with you. And they've had to do this all just making it up on their own and making it work. And I think, and I know this club will be behind them. So if you're sitting on your raffle tickets and you haven't gotten them to me, or to them, that's okay. Just make sure they're sold and we get them by next Tuesday. If they're not sold, please let us know because we can sell them. So that's right now what we're waiting on, are the tickets to come back in. So I just want to remind you that it's hard, that we need each of you, and to please support them in their efforts. I would like to also give away some wine. We're going to get out early today. Richard Bolin from online, are you still here and do you have on your pen? Do you see him still, Marta? No? Okay. And Mike Wilson? You do have on a pen. Yay. So Mike Wilson wins the wine. I do not have anything else for the good of the club if no one else does. No? If you'll join me in the four-way test. Of the things that we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?